Let's talk about the AFC North next. Let's do the Baltimore Ravens first. Malachi Starks in the first round, Mike Green in the second, Emory Jones in the third, Teddy Buchanan, the linebacker from California, in the fourth, Carson Vinson, the offensive tackle from Alabama A&M, in the fifth, Bilal Cohn, the corner from Western Michigan, in the sixth, and then Tyler Loop, the kicker from Arizona, in the sixth round. Oh, LeJounte Wester and Aeneas Peebles as well. Robert Longerbeam. They had so many sixth-round picks. I thought these were all in the seventh round. No. Okay, Tyler Loop in the sixth round, LeJounte Wester in the sixth round, Aeneas Peebles in the sixth round, Robert Longerbeam in the sixth round. What a day three haul here. And then they rounded out with Garrett Dellinger, the guard from LSU. Finally, in the seventh round. Fellas, what do we think?
Really like Malachi Starks, the addition here at safety. And when you look at the emergence down the stretch of the Ravens secondary, Kyle Hamilton moving back to free safety, Marlon Humphrey in the slot. Maybe you move him back outside now. You had Ardarius Washington in that strong safety slot role, but Starks adds an even greater dimension of that as the strong safety. Still can play a deep halfback free. He's got really good instincts, really good in the slot, even can get him in some man-to-man situations. So I think, to me, this secondary only gets more flexible, and from week 9 onward, they were arguably the best secondary in football last year. I think you have a team that added a really strong player to already a unit of strength, and there's endless possibilities when it comes to the flexibility inside, outside, safety, slot, wherever you want to put him. There's a ton of talent, and Starks only adds to it.
Yep, love that pick. I think a lot of Ravens fans would have said that pass rush was their biggest need. They get Mike Green in the second round because he fell there due to some off-field concerns, but I also love Aeneas Peebles in the sixth round of the draft. Now, he fell to the draft because he's not that big, right? But what he is one of the best pass rushers in college football over the last couple of years. He actually has the highest pass rushing grade in college football by nearly 3 points over the last 2 years, best pass rush win rate over the last 2 years, and also the third best pressure rate over the last 2 years. Now, he's probably a designated pass rusher in the NFL, but he can be really, really effective in that role down there in Baltimore. So I'm a huge fan of him. He's got a great pass rush plan, elite first step, elite explosiveness. Just the size is why I fell to the sixth round.
Jay Higgins, an undrafted free agent from Iowa, is the notable one for them. It just kind of feels like that Ravens player. I also think Robert Longerbeam, one of my favorite defensive backs in this class. I think he's a guy who can make a name for himself as a slot player. Cincinnati Bengals are next. Shamar Stewart was their first pick in the first round at pick number 17, the edge rusher from Texas A&M. Demetrius Knight, the linebacker from South Carolina, in round 2. Dylan Fairchild, the guard from Georgia, in round 3. Barrett Carter in round 4, the linebacker from Clemson. In round 5, they went with Jalen Rivers, the tackle/guard from Miami there. 6th round, they go running back Taj Brooks to sort of round things out. Fellas, what do we think about what the Bengals did this weekend?
I'm a fan. I was always curious where Demetrius Knight was going to go in the ideal situation for him. I see him as a weak side linebacker who would fit in with a team with an already established Mike linebacker. You have that here with the Bengals and Logan Wilson. It's expected for now that Jermaine Pratt won't be on the team, although that official decision there is kind of stalling. But either way, I think Knight, with his speed and his coverage ability, is one of the best coverage linebackers in college football over the last couple of years. A really good weak side complement. I know he's a little bit older. Some people are concerned about that. What's the longevity as he capped out? But speed, coverage ability, weak side linebacker, it's something they needed next to Logan Wilson.
Yeah, I know a lot of Bengals fans thought Shamar Stewart in the first round is a little bit of a reach, and I would probably agree with that. But listen, this guy has all the tools in the world to be a really effective player in the NFL. I think at the very least he could be a very good run defender for Cincinnati, which is what they need right now, opposite Trey Hendrickson. And maybe if they trade Trey Hendrickson, they'll even do more out of Shamar Stewart. But he had the best pre-draft process of any player in this draft. Highest grade player at the Senior Bowl this past year, and also had an incredible combine as well. So going for the upside here, swinging for fences is Shamar Stewart, but I think it makes sense for this defense.
Al Golden, the new defense coordinator in Cincinnati, we thought that drafted one of the guys that he made the national championship with on his defense. Didn't get any of those, but we got Howard Cross as an undrafted free agent, so we got that there. And then you mentioned the center Seth McLaughlin from Ohio State, somebody who was playing well before he ended up getting injured. So those are the key undrafted free agents there. The Pittsburgh Steelers next. Let's take a look at their draft haul. In the first round, they went with defensive tackle Derek Harmon. Nobody in the second round, no second round pick there. They traded it for DK Metcalf. Third round, they went with Caleb Johnson, the running back out of Iowa. Really good fit there, I think, in Arthur Smith's zone blocking scheme. Fourth round, Jack Sawyer, the edge rusher from Ohio State. Fifth round, Yahya Black, the defensive tackle from Iowa. Sixth round, Will Howard, the quarterback from Ohio State. Seventh round, Carson Bruner, the linebacker from Washington. And then finally, Dante Kent, the cornerback from Central Michigan.
I think the story for the Steelers is just the entire approach to their quarterback situation, right? They take Derek Harmon in the first round over, say, a Shedeur Sanders, Jackson Dart, Jalen Milroe, any of that. They waited all the way till the sixth round to take a quarterback in Will Howard. And look, Mike Florio, Pro Football Talk, he's reported Aaron Rodgers at some point is going to sign with the Steelers. It will happen. Not sure when.
Very clearly now.
But it will happen. So it's going to happen at some point. Will Howard, obviously, they took in the 6th round. They like his character. They like his value, the toughness. But I think that's the story here with the Steelers is, were they going to come out of the draft with a quarterback they feel could start for them? Or are they going to make a trade? Is it Aaron Rodgers? The most likely road right now still is Aaron Rodgers, but day by day, we just keep waiting for it. So they decide instead to build the rest of their team starting with Derek Harmon in the 1st round.
Yeah, and I don't hate the Derek Harmon pick, honestly. I personally would have probably gone with the quarterback there in the 1st round, considering how dire of a need it is for Pittsburgh and just to find the quarterback in the future, not just keep going with veteran options there. But if you're not going to go quarterback, I think Derek Harmon's a very nice another one to do there. So I think Derek Harmon's a good player. He and Mason Graham, one of only 2 power forwards he tackles with 80-plus pass rush and run defense grades this past year. Derek Harmon had 55 pressures last year. That was 11 more than any other defensive tackle in the country. So very good player, and Pittsburgh really need to address the future at D tackle too with Cameron Hayward. Even though he's still great, he's aging like fine wine. He's still getting up there in age. But I think Derek Harmon could be a really good future player for them.
Pittsburgh's notable UDFA's wide receiver Rock Taylor from Memphis. Sebastian Castro, the nickel defender from Iowa, ends up going to the Pittsburgh Steelers. Gets to keep the black and gold color scheme there. And then Ben Saul's the kicker from Pittsburgh. Last team in this division is the Cleveland Browns. They trade away from number 2, so they essentially give up Travis Hunter to then draft Mason Graham, but they get an extra 1st-round pick next year to do so. In the 2nd round, they take Carson Schlesinger and then Quinshon Judkins not too far after that. 3rd round, tight end Harold Fannin Jr. and Dylan Gabriel, the quarterback from Oregon. 4th round, they went with running back Dylan Sampson. And then in the 5th round, of course, everyone knows, pick 144, they got quarterback Shedeur Sanders from Colorado. Nothing in the 6th round, nothing in the 7th round.
They were the story of the draft. The trade down, trading out of Travis Hunter, getting a 1st-round pick next year, and then being the team to stop the Shedeur Sanders slide. And just, I think in general, I know it's going to be said for a million times over the next few months, training camp, preseason. What a quarterback room. I mean, Deshaun Watson obviously out for the year with the injury, but Kenny Pickett, Joe Flacco, Dylan Gabriel, and Shedeur Sanders, the double dip at quarterback. This is going to be one of maybe the most fascinating preseason training camp story that we're going to have in the NFL is this quarterback battle on a team that obviously we know isn't quite prepared to win this year necessarily with their roster, the cap situation. But you know what? It feels like one of either Dylan Gabriel or Shedeur Sanders or maybe both could get a shot at this starting job or will start games this year because your other options are Kenny Pickett and Joe Flacco. It's just a fascinating situation.
I was texting my buddy Tate Zigworth, who is a big Browns fan, and he actually, what he wants to do during the year is just kind of like a rotation in baseball, just have another guy each week.
Oh, sure.
Yeah, like a starting pitching rotation.
Yeah, or you could just go like even like within the game, like you have a closer, like you have the 4th round guy, and then or maybe it's like the 2-minute drill guy, right? You got this guy starts the game, opening script, then we've got it in the middle of the game, and then we got the closer coming into the end of that.
But whoever the quarterback is, honestly, they're gonna have a great backfield to hand the ball off to. I think Quinshon Judkins and Dylan Sampson, they complement each other very well. They're 2 of my top 10 running backs in the class, and I could see both those guys being a lead running back for an NFL offense. And the fact that Cleveland's able to get both Judkins and Sampson in that offense, I love those 2 picks.
Before we get to the Philadelphia Eagles, because we're going to go to the NFC East next, the only notable undrafted free agent they have from the Cleveland Browns is they have a player, an edge rusher, Aiden Huntington. So not Aiden Hutchinson, but same position, kind of close. Maybe there's something there. Maybe it's within the
Tulane, right?
Yeah, Tulane.
Yeah, there was some day 3 buzz out of Tulane. There was people in our ears about him maybe get drafted too.
Aiden Huntington.
Hutchinson. If he's anything close,
that's what I'm saying.
If he's anything close to Hutchinson, they'll be just fine.